Okay, today we're going to make some faux leather joggers. I'm going to take a pair of pants that have a stretch material, and I'm just going to place them on the on a doubled over fabric and cut it out. I am going to cut at least an inch out so that I will have some seam allowance room. Okay, for this next part, I'm going to make welt pockets. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of fabric and I am going to cut, it's 6 inches wide in a strip, 6 inches wide and 3 inches long. All right, next I'm going to make pocket facing. So I'm just going to take my welts and use that as the pattern piece because they're going to be the same size. Next, I'm going to grab interfacing and double the fabric over, the interfacing rather over, and cut 2 pieces for both of the pockets for that also. Okay, next I'm working on the pocket. Because I'm going to fold the pocket back into itself, I'm working on, this is the lining. I'm going to make it 12 inches long because it's going to fold up to make the pocket. And I need it 6 inches wide, the same as the other width that I've done for the welts. And I need to cut 2 of these because I'm making 2 pockets. Okay, our next step is to take our interfacing and take the wrong side of the welt and press it together. Do the same thing to the other pocket facing and to the wrong side. Okay, on this next step, we have serged those ends of both pieces. So now we have the inside of the pocket. We are going to lay the welts, oh, let me get it together. We're going to lay the welts and the outer pocket facing. We're going to lay those on opposite ends where the raw edges are showing. Okay, so make sure that the serge part, they're facing each other and they're on the inside and the raw edges on the outside. And go ahead and sew all around this complete box. Just base that and just sew all the way in a complete square. Sew all of that together. Okay, grab your pants pieces, the front part only, and we're going to go down about 3 inches and mark it because that's where our pocket is going to go. I'm going to go down about 3 inches. Be sure to place it, you know, kind of in the middle, not too close to the crotch and not too close to the side. And the pocket is going to be about 5 inches long. It's going to be a little smaller than my welt pieces. Make a line in the pants about 5 inches long. Make sure you put them in the same place on each pocket so your pockets will be even. Make sure you're marking your pocket marks on the wrong side of the pattern piece. I had to cut another square of fusible. So what we're going to do next, we are going to draw a line 5 inches like that. Okay, on the wrong side of the fusible. So actually I'm going to fold it in half. So let me know that's my halfway mark. Draw a square right in the middle of it. I mean, draw a line. So now I have that. Then I'm going to draw a square. Then on the interfacing, grab your tape measure and measure in 1 inch and mark a dot. Let you know where that 1 inch. Do it on each end. So then we're going to make another dot so that we're going to have it a 1/2 inch above the line and 1/2 inch under, because this entire thing is going to be 1 inch. So 1/2 inch on each side of the line where your 1 inch dot is. Then connect the boxes, the little box together. Okay, the next step is take that box and match that line up with the other line that you've already made on the pants. Being that I'm working with faux leather, I am going to use tape to tape it down because I don't want to puncture it. So, and then I'm going to sew all around the box, not the inside, just the box itself. So I make sure I have that lined up, those lines aligned. Our welt piece, we're going to take the right side against the right side of the pocket where I've already sewn the outer side of the pocket on the outside of this. So I'm going to fold this in half to let me know, and just kind of hand crease it. So let me know that's my halfway point. And I'm going to do the same thing on here. I'm going to pinch it and kind of hand press it to let me know that's my middle piece. So I'm going to take those middle pieces and I'm going to just match them up like that. And then I'm going to lay that down on top and tape it down. I am going to turn it over on the wrong side again, and I'm going to re-stitch over those same stitchings in that box, back stitching at each corner. So back stitch and sew all along this same box to sew all of this down together. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay, so now you've sewn through there. You can remove the tape, and the next step is I'm turning it back where the wrong sides are up. As you can see, I've gone ahead and that's been sewn to the front. I am going to mark a fourth, what's this called? I'm going to mark a basting line, actually, a 1/4 of an inch up and 1/4 of an inch on bottom. You're going to baste right on top of that line you just made. I'm going to do the same thing underneath. Another. Do the same thing to the other side. Then I'm going to put a basting then we're going to put a basting stitch right across those lines. Okay, as you can see, I've done one side of the front pocket. And I left a little space in between mine because I wanted to see the back of it. And that's what the inside looks like. So now I'm just going to show you guys how I did it. Okay. Okay, for this next, erase that other part there. So for this next part, I'm going to show you guys how I put this pocket in, this welt pocket in. So what I'm going to do is right where I put that basting stitch on that 1/4 inch line up there, that basting stitch, I am going to turn it on the right side. I am literally just going to fold that over. I'm going to hand press it. If I was working with another fabric, this is the time where I say press this down. Then I'm folding it down to where my basting stitch is, and then I'm going to turn it over, and I am going to sew inside the box, well, I mean the top line of the box rather. I'm going to sew that down. I'm going to back stitch and do this entire line right here. Okay, I've done that part. I know it looks weird, but it'll make sense. So this is what it'll look like. So then what you do is you're going to fold that. We're working on the right side again. Don't forget that. We're going to fold that lining out the way, the inside pocket, and we're just going to fold that up. And this is the part where you would press it, but this material I'm working with, I cannot. So I'm going to turn that over and sew the bottom part of the box. So don't catch the lining. The lining should be out the way and sew right there inside that box. I'm going to do that. Okay. So now to the next step. We're going to fold this lining part down of the pocket, and we're on the right side of the fabric. We are just going to cut through, not through the fabric, but we're going to cut right up the middle of, so we're avoiding the fabric. We're cutting right through that box stitch line that we have, and we're going to cut right up the middle. Straight on through there, just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and turn it over. We're going to grab our measuring tape or a tape measure or a seam gauge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark 5/8 of an inch inside the box from that end inside the box. I'm going to 1/inch of an inch. I've already pre-marked it once, so I'm just going to show you guys. And mark it, because what we are going to do now, we're going to cut through the actual fabric. So I'm just going to pull it up, pinch, and I'm going to cut on the line, and I'm going to stop where I get to that mark, 1-inch mark. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to turn it over. Turn it on the opposite end. And I'm going to do the same thing and stop. Now, 1-inch line. Inch, I'm going to cut like a little Y right through there. So, one corner to the other corner. Alright, here's our seam ripper. Let's remove that basting stitch right now. Be careful too. Basting stitch is removed off a part of it. I'm going to remove the other ones. Remove it off the bottom one also. Okay, now that the basting stitches are out of the way, it is time to just tuck the pocket inside. So literally just take the bottom of the lining and tuck it right inside. So I might take out a few stitches in that corner there, but this one is laying just right. So what I'm going to do next is take out a few stitches, and then I'm just going to fourth of an inch from this corner. I'm just going to mark. I'm just going to sew a stitching down, and then I'm going to sew right there to the edge. And well, that's what I'm talking about. And then to get the pocket, that's the last part of this pocket. I hope it wasn't too difficult. It's to fold it, the pocket upward, match it with the top of that, and bam, you've got a complete pocket. And then sew all around. I'm going to go ahead and serge all around the pocket to close it up. Then we're going to go ahead and put these pants together. Alright. Okay, our next step. This is the front piece with the pockets, of course. And we're going to take the back piece and take the ones with the curve, match the curve to the curve, pin it together. But go ahead, and the top part is going to be longer because I cut it on the angle. And what we're going to do, match those up. We're going to pin it together along all the sides. Do not do this part in the curve, just from here on down. Okay. Once you have sewn the sides all up, I took it over to my serger and I serged the sides also. So one little pant leg I am going to turn inside out, and the other one will be the right side out. So what I want to do is take the one with the right side out, and I'm going to drop it right inside the other pant leg, just like that. I'm going to match that seam allowance up. Okay, we're just gonna pin it all the way around. It's gonna form like a U, and then we're gonna sew that crotch together. Okay, next we're gonna make our waistband. All you do is take the tape measure and measure your waist, and then add a 1/2 inch for seam allowance. I'm working with a stretchy material, and okay, once I take my waist measurement, I'm gonna divide it in half, and then I'm going to make my waistband at least 4 inches wide. So you take whatever that number is that your waistband is, divide it in half, make your waistband at least 4 inches wide, and then cut it out on a double piece of fabric. So you should have 2 pieces for the front and the back. And pin the waistband together on the sides and sew it up on the sides only. Fold it in half and then sew along the top. Fold it in half. Okay, so I folded this in half and I've sewn it at the bottom. This part is just folded over. So I fold it. So now I have the elastic, and I'm going to open up the side and fish the elastic through. Once you get the elastic through, go ahead and sew the elastic together and then stretch it on out into within the waistband. Sew this right down, right on top stitch. Okay, on this next part, we are going to make a little decorative waistband. I'm just going to take the waistband, and I'm going to put my presser foot right there at the top, and I'm going to sew right through the elastic and everything. I'm going to stretch it lightly as I go. I am making the stitch line a little longer. Then when I'm done, I'm going to do a whole nother roll around the thing, and I'm just moving it over 1/4 of an inch each time I go around. Okay, done with the waistband, so now it's time to put it on zip heads. So I'm going to turn the waistband so that the raw edge is facing upward, opposite of the pants, and I'm going to just put the pants through. Whoops, sorry, before we do that, let's hit our 4 corners. So we know that seam to seam, that's 1 corner, and we're going to mark this to let us know. It's not exact. We're going to snip it now. So we're going to hit our, so seam to seam, and then put a little snip right there. Let us know that's where it goes. And seam to seam. And snip right there. And we already know if we put the 2 snips together, then our seams are already, these are my 2 snips right here. So let's go ahead, and the pants already have the 4 corners, so just match those snips to the 1 each seam. So that's 1, 2, that's 3, 4. Then we're going to just take it on over to the sewing machine, and we're going to pull it as we go, just gently, so that we can make it fit. Measure right around your ankle, and then whatever I think mine is 9 inches, so I'm going to cut my fabric exactly 9 inches because I want it to fit snug. Actually, I should cut it 8.5. Yeah. I'm going to do 8 inches. Sorry, I'm going down 1 inch. All right, cut your elastic and then go ahead and sew the edges together to form a circle. Okay, so now we have our elastic, and we're going to turn our jeans inside out. So then we are going to take the elastic, match our 4 points with the 4 points on the pants, pin it together, and then we're gonna sew the ends of it, the edge of it. Okay. As you can see, it's stretched out right over the machine, and we're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch, and I'm gonna sew that right on at the edge. So now we've sewn the edge. We are going to turn that pant leg inside out. And then we're going to fold that baby back under. And see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do like I did with the waistband. I am going to make rolls all through the elastic. Probably a good 3 rolls so I can match the waistband. And then we're done with this. I'm going to do the other pant leg. So don't forget, I'm just going to move the presser foot down where it's just touched the last thread line and move it on down until I get to the end of the elastic. And we're done. I can't wait to show you guys. Right, here is the bottom. It's matching the top of the waistband. All right, about to try these babies on. All right, here's the finished product. I can't wait to show you guys and try them on for you. It came out pretty good, and even check it out. Haha. Let me see if you can see this. Even added my little name tag to it. All right. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.